Hi, I'm Todd Henderson. Today we're going to install a BAKFlip F1 on this 2009 and up body style Ram pickup. Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is hang the rail on the bed cap. Now before we do that, I want to make sure first that we grab the correct rail. Now this is the passenger side rail, that's where I'm starting first. Up towards the cab, you're going to have a big aluminum tab that hangs off the inside of the rail that goes to the inside of the bed. You're also going to have this ball stud that points to the inside of the bed. On the outside, you're going to have this rubber seal that's designed to hang on top and seal against the bed cap, just kind of like so. And it fits just like that. Now before we start mounting this rail, we're also going to have a drain tube to install. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that drain tube in place first. With the Ram, my particular favorite place to install the drain tube on the Ram is up in this top corner. There's already a factory hole. So I'm going to pull away our bed tread so you can see the factory hole that's in the Ram. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the tube, run it down into that hole. Where it's going to terminate and plug into the rail is right up here. So I'm going to go ahead and hold my fingernail there. I've got it marked. I'm going to take a pair of scissors and I'm going to actually cut the drain tube just like so. Now I can go ahead and fit the drain cup end onto the drain tube, onto the rail, fit the drain tube down into the hole, and now I can go ahead and install the rail. I fit it up against the side of the bed cap and pull it all the way up against the bulkhead. And now I can go ahead and start installing clamps. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and install my first clamp. Now I'm going to undo the clamp a little bit, just loosen it up and spread it apart. Now I'm going to take this clamp and set it in place to clamp the rail to the bed cap. Now you're going to notice you've got some grooves in the clamp. Those grooves need to be kind of married perfectly into that rail so that it gives a proper bite. You want to go up as far as you can while you're still all the way into the grooves. Hold the clamp together. As you're holding it together, make it finger tight. Then with a 9/16 wrench or ratchet, when I get it just where it's starting to bite down, when it's just starting to bite down, and you can still manipulate the rail, make sure it's pulled all the way up against the bulkhead, and tap it from the top. That helps to seat that top seal to your bed cap. Once that's done, we can go ahead and finish tightening down the clamp and move to our next clamp. All right, now we're going to go about midway down on the bed, set the clamp in place. Again, make sure the teeth of the clamp marry properly into the rail. Get it as high up as you can with the clamp properly seated. And again, we're going to hand tighten with our 9/16. We're going to get it just where it's starting to bite down, seat it from the top, and then we can go ahead and finish tightening that clamp. And of course, our last clamp is going to install the exact same way. You want to try to get this as close to the tailgate as possible. Now we're going to go ahead and install our prop rod. It just basically snaps right onto the ball stud and then hangs into the prop rod hanger bracket. We're going to repeat the exact same process on the opposite side. All right, now when you pull the cover out of the box, we're going to kind of open it up a little bit, and you've got your header piece. This is what goes right behind the cab of the truck. Now you'll notice on this rail, you've got a couple of small holes. What we're going to do is we're going to be installing our clip receiver right here, and you want to make sure the open end of the clip receiver is facing the strap that it attaches to. Next, what we're going to do, we've got a couple of threaded sleeves. Those are going to install from the back. And we're just going to hold those in place. Next, we're going to take our screws that come with the kit. They go through the top, and we tighten them down with a Phillips head screwdriver. We don't want to get them too tight, just nice and snug. Do that on both sides. All right, now I've already got the bulkhead seal installed. You go from one bed cap all the way to the other bed cap. You want to make sure that bulkhead seal is all the way to the back side of the bulkhead, as far away from the cab as possible. All right, next we're going to go ahead and place our cover on top of our rails and make sure that the head panel of the cover goes over top of the bulkhead. Now, we want that to be able to drop in place and then push it forward until the frame of the panel touches the bulkhead. Now we're going to go ahead and take our elevator bolt assembly. We're going to pull that apart. We're going to have two of these, one for each side. Once we take the star knob off, we can take off one rubber washer, flat washer, and lock washer. They should be in the correct order, but we're going to leave one rubber washer on there. The elevator bolt goes down through the top of the cover, down into that aluminum tab that's on the rail. Next, with the elevator bolt coming down through the aluminum tab, we're going to go ahead and put on the rubber washer, flat washer, and lock washer in that order over top of the elevator bolt. And as we hold that in place, we're going to go ahead and install the star knob. Now, we're just putting this on finger tight for right now. We're not going to tighten it up all the way. We still need to be able to adjust the cover slightly. We're going to do this on both sides. All right, now to align the cover inside the rails, what we're going to do is slowly fold the cover back towards the tailgate, making sure we keep it centered in the rails. So we're going to want to have the same gap in between the cover and the rails on each side for each panel as they fold back. As you fold them back, make sure you have just slight adjustments to keep everything centered. Once it's centered, we're going to go ahead and fold it all the way up against to the cab again. Be very careful not to allow the cover to shift around while we're doing this. And now we can go ahead and tighten down our star knobs. Now I've already gone ahead and installed the 3 rubber bump stops onto the side of the cover that touches the cab. What that does is that buffers the cab from the cover and protects the cab and the back of the glass. Now, depending on your configuration, if you have a sliding window in the back, whatnot, you may have to install the bump stops in different locations. Essentially, all we want to do is make sure those bump stops are in locations to where you don't have to worry about cover to cab contact. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts. We're here to help you out.